The first scene in the first episode started off pretty well in typical Star Wars fashion. We had a big space raid on the ship, and it was pretty good. I didn't have any problems there. Kind of set up what's going on with the pirates in the episode. Pirate leader leads us to a place where there's supposed to be some stash of credits, gold, whatever you case you want to call it. And there's not much there. Actually, only one credit, which is pretty much an insult. It kind of seems like a calling card or something that someone would do on purpose. They jump the pirate leader, and we don't see anything from him. Then flash forwards over to our main character. He goes by the name of Wim, the young boy. I believe that's his name, Wim. I think that's how they say it. I should turn on the closed captioning maybe. I must say, this is the cleanest Star Wars anything that I've ever seen. I mean, we've seen stuff like palaces and government buildings and things like this, but this is like a Star Wars suburbia, like upper middle class Star Wars living. I don't really recall seeing anything like this in any of the movies or the shows. So it's a bit different, even to the point where you'd be like, is this a Star Wars thing? But Star Wars can encompass all types of things. There's room for everything there. Of course, there would be a town that looks like suburban California or something, right? We get to meet Wim's father and understand the dynamic here. He's a hardworking guy. He seems like he may be a single dad because we don't really hear any mention of his mom. And we see that he has to kind of like buy his own lunch and take care of himself when his dad's at work. So I'm guessing his mom is not in the picture for some reason. I don't think they really got into that. Or maybe I just missed it if it was a throwaway line or something. We do see he kind of takes to Jedis, and he has action figures of what looks to be a Jedi and a Sith. And I really don't know in the universe at this time what the take is on Jedis. I know they were like a myth and legend, and some people believed and some didn't. I don't know where on his planet they stand on Jedis. They don't really get too much into that. He does have some lines where he goes through in class about wanting to save people and be a hero, and his friend said you basically want to be a Jedi, but it doesn't seem like they're like, oh, you're crazy, Ruby do magic. So I don't really know where they stand on Jedis and Sith in their society at that time. But we do get some clean shots. We get some questionable CGI when they're going around the town and headed to school. And we get some good stuff in there too. Like I said, this is the cleanest Star Wars I've ever seen. Even the school, like this looks like someplace I would actually want to live in the future. But yeah, it's the past, I know. But it looks like someplace that I would actually maybe want to stay. This is probably the first time I've ever seen a location in Star Wars where I say, hey, I would live there, because Tatooine was just brutal. Of course, we got to see Wim's sort of family dynamic. We got a little bit out of Fern and see what's going on there with her and her mom. We did get to see Neil's whole family. That so it was kind of cool. We got to see he had his whole family element going on. But I think they kind of did a disservice to KB, which was the other character that had like the Geordie thing going on in her eyes. They didn't really show that she even had a family of sorts or any bits. Really don't know much about her. She got a short end of the stick there on character development, but they still have time to fix it. Maybe there's something more going on that they're going to weave into the story later. The device that she has on her head, is it a part of her? Is it something that she created? Is it something that anyone can use? I don't know. They really didn't go into detail on that. So I feel like there was a little lackluster, but outside of that, I think we got pretty decent development with the rest of the characters. It's all pretty straightforward from here. We don't really get much into the lore or anything behind it. It's kind of just like a mystery, you figure it out as you go type of thing. They wind up getting into what they think is this Jedi temple to find out it's really a ship in there. It's a ship, and he accidentally starts the ship, of course, and it blasts away. And that's basically the super short version of the first episode. It was about 40 minutes long, I would say, and it held my attention. It was pretty good. I wanted to see what would happen next. Of course, there's a bunch of other little things that happen in there, but nothing too major or too amazing from my point of view. The second episode, the kids find out by talking to the on-ship robot that they're nowhere near home, and the robot doesn't even know the planet they're from. Apparently, they're from planet At Aden. Just off the top of my head, with my Star Wars knowledge, I don't think that sounds familiar to me. If anybody does know anything about it, please drop it in the comments. I'll probably Google it or look it up after this. But yeah, off the top of my head, that doesn't sound familiar to me. But apparently they're from At Aden, and nobody knows where that is. They do end up landing on what seems to be a pirate outpost or colony or some type of weird thing. Star Wars has all these weird places that all these unsavory characters hang out at. And when Wim is trying to pay for his food, he pulls out some of the Republic credits that his dad gives him. And the guy who works there basically tried to cheat him out of it, knowing that it had a lot of value. someone else chimes in, they get into an argument. But this is how we kind of find out that Aden is a place that is more maybe a rumor, mythological, like a city of hidden treasure type of thing. So I really don't know. I guess they're not part of the Republic. I don't know. I'm curious to see how it pans out here and what's really going on. But turned into a big thing. We get to see the robot just like kick so much butt. Like he just beats a bunch of guys down. Like it's actually pretty hilarious. It was very entertaining. And eventually the kids get caught by pirates and they get thrown in the brig. Yeah, they threw the little kids in jail. Jaleel White as a pirate. We got that. We got Jaleel White, Steve Urkel in Star Wars as a pirate. I don't know if I particularly loved what was going on with him. I don't know if the whole Urkel thing is just stuck in my brain, so I can't really see him as this dangerous mercenary pirate, or if his costume just looked a little weird and cheesy, because it just kind of did. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too hard on him, but it didn't really sell it for me. There was one little creature in there that looked super familiar to me, and when I was watching it, it didn't really dawn on me until I finished the episode, but I think it was Teak from the Ewoks films, and he was running around all super fast. If that is him, someone please let me know. I'm definitely going to research that. That would be a cool little callback or a cool little nod there, because I don't think I've ever seen any of his race in the greater Star Wars films anywhere. While in jail, the kids come across another figure. Of course, it's Jude Law, and he creeps up on them and basically shows them that he has some type of force powers, which is kind of interesting to me. I wonder where that's going. But he basically tells the kids, he can help them or whatever, and he gets the key. I don't know why he wouldn't do that until they came. I'm going to tell you my theory on it. Like I said, I don't know. It's not considered a spoiler because I really don't know what the heck is going on in the show. But just from the beginning, I feel like the guy that they jumped in the pirate ship was going to come back in some way. And I feel like it's Jude Law's character. I feel like he's setting these kids up. He wants to get to the stash. I don't know if the other pirates are in on it or not, but he's just, come on, the way he creeped out of the shadows with the hood, he's just giving me creepy aura bad guy vibes. I would never trust a guy like that I meet in prison. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I think he's the ultimate big bad here. That's what I really think. It comes down to him. He's going to double cross the kid somewhere. That's just how I feel. That's just what it seems like it's going. But I don't know. What do you think? Let me give my review on the technical aspects of it. The acting I felt was mediocre. I felt like everything was just good enough to get me by and kind of get me grasped into it. It was nothing like, oh, wow, this is amazing. But they still have a little time. So for right now, it was a good, even mediocre on the acting. The visuals, at times they were really good, but at times they weren't for me. Some of the stuff on the planet and the CGI just didn't really work for me that well. We got random CGI creatures and some real practical effects here, so it wasn't too bad on that front. So the visuals were just, man, also mediocre for me. Story-wise, I'm into it. The story was just a little bit above average. Overall, it did give a sense that there is some overarching deep story going on here with the hiding out and the people knowing but not knowing of the planet. So I do feel like it is kind of intriguing and it is drawing me in a little bit. It's like, what is the mystery? I do want to see more of it. So they did really good on that part. It wasn't knocking me off my socks or anything or saying, man, this is an amazing, tremendous story. I can't believe, but it does have a lot of time. So for the first 2 episodes, it was a good setup. I think they set a good base to know what's going on. So story, yeah, story is pretty good. Music, it was Star Wars music to me. The music didn't seem out of place. I felt it was good. It was fitting. It was Star Wars-ish, and it fit for the show. So the music, I would say, was really good. This show is mediocre to me. It's a good show to watch. It's not bad. It's not amazing. It has potential. So right now, it's about a 6.5 out of 10 for me. It's just above the average line, but it has potential to go up really high and also has potential to fall a little low if the budgets and things start toning down as the episodes go on. I think we got 8 episodes. We're 2 in. We got 6 to knock it out the park. By episode 5, we're going to know what this show really is. And I look forward to it. I've seen that the series is supposed to have multiple directors. I think they might be doing one an episode or something like that. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out all together with the different directors and their different directing styles going into the next episode. I didn't really see a big difference in the first and the second episode directorial wise. I think the first one did strike me a little more as like a Goonie-esque family film, and the second one was a little more traditional Star Wars, but it might just be the story and the setting that did it. I don't really know if it was director's choices that made it that way. All right, what do you guys think down in the comments? I'm gonna go check out like multiple reviews on this. I'm very curious of what everyone else has to say about it. But let me know what you think down in the comments, and see you guys next episode.